Right. So in your Schoology, if you can open 1.3 equations with variables on both sides, that's what we need. I already opened it ahead of time because, I heard this morning from other teachers that Schoology has glitches. Okay. All right. So we're going to start here. So for this week, these are the things we will be doing. You should have access to your slides for today. But as you can see here, it shows me if, you guys have seen it or not yet. I got it. Cool. Okay. Now you have to make a copy for yourself so you can type in it. Do you remember how to do it? You go here. You go to File, make a copy of the entire presentation. Okay. Where can I find that? Right here, honey. It's the third one over here. Yep, it's the third one. Got it? Okay. If for some reason you cannot make a copy for yourself, there's only like 4 examples, so you can actually write it down on a piece of paper. And then we'll figure out why it's not working for you later. Okay, so all of these we're going to finish today. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your interactive notebook. You got 3 slides already. Hopefully you will have time to do the skills practice. So once we get to this part, I will be able to answer your questions one by one. Okay. All right. So next Thursday, this is what we will be doing. So that's a new lesson for Thursday. Now, independent work or homework. So this is like your homework. So hopefully after today or maybe tomorrow, I will be able to give you your new Delta Math homework on the current lesson. I just haven't done it because I have to finish the grades, and I didn't want those assignments to lower down your grade further. So I haven't created them. Okay. So for your warm up, every time you see this letter S over here, it means you have to enter your answers in Schoology. So you can do this on a piece of paper later, okay? For your independent work, it's just right here. That's the one, interleave review. You write it down on a piece of paper, and then after that, you enter your answers in Schoology. You all have 2 attempts. If you run out of both attempts, text me. So the key is to text me, okay? Next, on the second slide, these are the examples we will be talking about today, okay? And hopefully, if we have the time, we'll do a little bit of problem solving, or I'll probably postpone that for now so I can help you one on one with your problems. Okay, so we're gonna get started here. Our lesson is solving equations with variables on both sides. Like for example, here you have a 2x and a negative 3x over here. Okay, I highlighted some of the keywords. The first thing you have to do is to simplify. Okay, you have to simplify. The second thing you have to do is to collect like terms. Collect like terms. And then the third one is you isolate or you get the variable by itself. So we're gonna follow those 3. Simplify, collect, and then get the variable by itself. So what do I mean by simplify? If you see something like 15 plus 2 over here, then you're gonna simplify that. But right now it's a variable and a number, so we cannot simplify anymore, right? So we cannot add the negative 3x and a 15 together because 15 doesn't have a variable. So what are we going to do? We're going to collect the variables together. So since we want the variables on the left-hand side, let's type 2x. Okay, does it let you type on your work? Okay, so you get 2x, and then you move this negative 3x over to the other side, you have to make it positive. Okay, so plus 3x is equal to, and then bring down the 15 together. All right, so now add 2x and 3x. There, more viewers joining us. Okay, so add 2x and 3x, and that will become 5x is equal to 15. So now when you divide both sides by 5, 15 divided by 5 is x is equal to 3. Okay, so let's explain what we did. First, that's the given problem. And then we added 3x to both sides. So that's addition property of equality. And then we added the 2x and the 3x, so that's simplify only. Now, why is it simplify only? Because we only did it on one side. We only added the 2x and the 3x, right? But the addition property of equality, that should be equal sign, not plus. Why is it a property? It's because we added the 3x here, so plus 3x, and we also added it here, right? So we can cancel these out. So that's what basically we did. We just didn't write it out. Okay? So every time you move from one side to the other, it's a property. But if you're just combining two things on one side, it just says simplify. Okay, here we divided both sides. So if it's both sides, then you have to put a property. And since we divided, you put division, property of equality. Okay. All right. So I do hope that you guys got that. Could you please ask questions if you have any right now? Any questions so far? Yes, honey. Uh-huh. In the digital notebook. So you can actually type in it right now if it lets you type in it. Or if it's not working for you, you can write it down on a piece of paper and then you can picture and paste later. Do I have to write all of this? Uh, it's up to you how you take down notes, honey. When we are in the regular classroom, like you can take down notes however you want it. It's good that you already know how to do it. So if you know how to do it, there's a task in Schoology. Maybe you can multitask while you do Zoom. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So split your screen and maybe you do one Schoology while you're doing your notes. Okay. So how do you solve an equation with a grouping symbol? Okay, so this is the thing we're going to do now, and it's a little bit complicated because it has fractions, right? Okay, so let me just move this out so you can type. So the first thing that we're going to do is you multiply the 3 to the 3x. So 3 times 3x is 9x. And then we multiply the 3 to the negative 4 again, so that's negative 12. All right, now we see a fraction. So how do we do this fraction over here? So if you see a fraction, you have to distribute that to each of them. So if you have 1/4, it's like you're dividing 32 by 4, right? And then the 56, you also have to divide by 4. So that's basically what you're doing. So what's 32 divided by 4? That's 8. So this will become 8x because it has an x, right? So 8x plus, now what's 56 divided by 4? That's 14, right? So 8x plus 14. So then when you're done, you collect the variables again together. You bring down the 9x, and this 8x over here, you have to move it to the other side. So you're subtracting 8x. Okay, equals, you bring down the 14, and then you move the 12 over to the other side so you can collect the constants together. All right, so let's wrap that up. First, that's the given information. That's the problem over there at the very top. And then we wrote distributive property. Okay, and then after that, we collect like terms together, like terms, or we say simplify, right? Okay, so the next one we're going to do is what's 9x minus 8x? It's just 9 minus 8 is 1x. So we just write x equals 14 plus 12 is 26. Okay, so that's the second example. Let me put this back. All right. Okay, so in both of these examples, we guys got one solution for each of them, right? For each of the equations. But in the next example I'm going to show you, that might not be the case. So in the next two equations you will see, um, they are equations that either that have either infinitely many solutions or they have no solution at all. Okay? So when do we get many solutions and when do we get no solutions? When you do your Schoology work, you will be saying whether an equation has one or has many or has no solution at all. Okay, so let's try this. If you distribute the 3 to the 5, that's 15. And then you distribute the 3 to the 2, that's going to be 6. Am I going too fast or just right? Okay, if you don't give me any feedback, I wouldn't know. Kinda. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So, guys, feel free to like let me know. Um, how do I say this? It's just kind of difficult to like get my personality across because we're just looking at each other in the computer. But let me tell you a true story very quick. My period 5 and 6 are geometry classes. They're honors geometry classes, and I had them last year also for honors algebra and the steam magnet. And like since they kind of know me very well because we started together in the classroom, like almost every 5 minutes, like there's a question in the chat. There's a question in the chat, and sometimes it's the same question over and over, and I don't care. So that's what I want you to do. You get confused, you stop me. Miss, can you say that again? I wish we could do this live, my dear, but so I'm letting you know that I would rather that you ask me questions so I know how to help you than just staring at the screen like that. Okay? So let me slow down a little bit. Thank you for letting me know, Brandon. I appreciate that. Okay. So first let's distribute the 3 to the 5x and we'll get 15x. Okay, and then after that, we're going to distribute the 3 to the 2 again. So 3 times 2 is plus 6. Okay, let's copy the equal sign and write 15x. All right, so ask me any question. If you have any, just type in the chat so I can help you. All right. Yes, honey? Oh, sorry, I didn't quite get that, honey, if you're asking me a question. Oh, okay. Uh-huh. All right. Then after that, we're going to collect those with variables together. But maybe you're saying, but miss, that's a 15x. If you subtract it, it's going to go away. Well, let's see. So we're going to subtract 15x from both sides, right? I can put it underneath if that's clearer for you, because I know in middle school that's what they usually do. They put it like underneath what they wanted to cancel. So if that helps a little bit, although a little bit more difficult in typing, there you go. So we're subtracting 15x from both sides. And definitely those two would cancel, right? So 15x minus 15x, oops, that's gone. Boom, 0 equals, oh, no, not equals. I forgot there's a plus 6 over here, see? So plus 6 equals, and 15x negative 15x, boom, 0 again, right? Okay, So as long as you're doing it algebraically correctly, it's okay for them to go away. All right, then let's do it further. 0 plus 6, 6 equal to 0. And then you might stop. Wait a sec. That doesn't look right. Can 6 be equal to 0? No way, right? So you say this is false. Okay. All right. If you think that there's something wrong, it doesn't mean that you did something wrong. In equations, that could happen. So what does that mean if this is a false statement? So this means that the equation has no solution. In other words, even if you use so many numbers and plug it in for x, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay? All right. So let me just type this up. You put given, you distribute, then you subtracted both sides 15x, subtraction, property of equality, and then we cancel the 15x, so that's simplify. Then we also simplify to get the last one. All right. Next year, you guys are going to go to geometry, and you will be creating two column proofs like this. Okay, so the equation has no solution. But what does an equation that has many solutions look like? I'll give you like some 10-second wait time just to kind of, you know, ask questions if you have any. Okay, by the way, before I start, sometimes it helps if you push your Chromebook or your device like a little back or like away from you so your eyes don't hurt. Like right now I seem smaller, right? Because like I pushed my laptop farther because dang, in the past few days my eyes hurt my head hurt so bad. Okay. Anyway, so let's do this. Negative 2 times 4y. So let's multiply that. That's negative 8y. Okay. Then we're going to multiply the negative 2 to the positive 1. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. Okay. Equals. Maybe you said, ooh, there's something wrong again here, Miss Arciaga. You mess up. It's okay. It's okay to mess up sometimes. You know, the most important thing is you go back up, you know, and double check and revise and get things right the second time around. Sometimes it's a 10th time around, right? Okay. So, did we actually mess up? Not really. So, earlier we saw something different. Like we got a false statement because they didn't match the left and the right. But what about now? Are they matching? Oh, that's the same exact thing, right? Okay, but let's pretend you don't know what to do after that. And you know that you have to get the variables together. Well, then let's keep going and see what happens. Are you going to mess up further? Fine, we're all in this together. Let's do it. So you got to remove the negative 8y, right? So there you go. Hey, honey, mommy's working. Okay, so 8y, 8y. You're going to cancel that 8y together, right? So that's a 0. And you're going to end up with negative 2 equals, you cancel that again, and you're going to end up with a negative 2. Dang, Mr. Arciaga, that's another mistake. That can't be possible. What do you guys think? Is that possible? Well, this one, that was a false statement. What about now? Do you think this would work? Is that a true statement? It's equal to each other. Perfect. And then maybe you're saying, Miss, we need to add 2, you know? And let's see what happens. Okay, fine. Let's do that. Add 2. And then you also have to add 2 to the other side. And let's see what happens. What will they become? What's negative 2 plus 2? Anyone? Negative 2 plus 2? 0. Yay! So 0 equals 0. And they match the left and the right hand side. So that's okay. So see how many times like we kept trying and trying because we thought we messed up? No, we ended up with another true statement. So this is a true statement. Okay, and if that's the case, then the equation has infinitely, can't even spell anymore. I'm bad at English. The equation has infinitely many solutions. There you go. So that's the difference between no solution, meaning they don't match at all, and then infinitely many solutions means whatever you do, no matter how many times you think you mess up and you keep doing it, they still end up equal to each other. So that's infinitely many solutions. So let's wrap this up and then let's go to our independent work. So this is distribute. Um, okay, I'll look at the chat in a little bit, honey. Give me one sec. Addition, property of equality. And then we subtracted negative 2, so subtraction property of equality. And you can do this like in so many ways. Like I solved this with period 3 yesterday, and we also came up with a different way to do it. So and this is addition property. So my point is, even in real life, right? We solve problems different way, but what's the most important thing? As long as you get to a solution, um, this is simplifying. Then you're good. All right. And let me check the chat. I'm doing it on paper, but I don't have that page on my digital notebook. All right, Giovanni's. Yeah, so nobody has this page on their original digital notebook. So what you're going to do is you open your digital notebook. So let's pretend this is my digital notebook, right? You go to File and then Import Slides. So once you have this new one in your drive, you can import and just follow the instructions that shows on the screen, and then you'll be able to add these up to your digital notebook. If you don't know how to do that, as long as you make a copy of this, okay, that's fine. We can just combine them later on. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do now. Um, I do have a practice for this lesson. So let me reorder these ones a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do this next time because it's a word problem, and I want you to do the practice first so you don't get confused. Okay, so right now, you can do any of these. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for those who already know what to do, you may start doing them in Schoology, and then I will be staying in Zoom to answer individual questions like for grades, for Delta Math, and stuff like that, because I don't want anybody to have an excuse for failing. Okay? All right. So is it clear? If you know what to do when you don't need me right now, go ahead and work on this. If your questions can be like answered later or in just one simple text, please be mindful of those who are really having a hard time right now figuring things out. Okay? I wish you could just meet at a park and like I'm gonna answer your questions together. Okay, so I'm gonna be watching the chat so I can help you with anything. So ask away, guys. I'm gonna stop my screen sharing now so you'll be more comfortable